So Julian Assange, Donald Trump did not pardon him, nor Edward Snowden. During the last few days of his tenure, he drew up a list about 100 names of people that he would pardon. Some of them were his friends, of course. You also have some weird ones. I saw Lil Wayne also, and Kodak Black. They also got a pardon from Trump, which is probably in exchange for endorsing him, Who knows? I also heard a rumor you could buy one, which would not surprise me. I don't know if they paid for it or not, but in any case, they got a little favor from Trump, right? I think Lil Wayne's facing something like 10 years on a gun charge, something like that. Anyway, the point is, nothing for Assange. This is a real shame. I was expecting that. I think it was still worth it that, we tried. So many people tried. Man, you had Jimmy going on Tucker Carlson making the case. Glenn, Stella Morris, who's Julian Assange's partner, she also pleaded with Trump for clemency many times. All over social media. Many people, Pamela Anderson. We all tried, man. And I think even if there was a 0.0001% chance, it's still better than doing nothing and then having a 0% chance. It's a shame. It's really a shame. Now, there are people saying that the reason this happened, let me show you. This is a clip from Tucker Carlson, also making the case for Assange. Pay attention.
Cases tonight, as one of his final acts as president, Donald Trump has the opportunity to make that right, to pardon both of them. We told you that last night. We told you it before. We're hearing tonight that neither man, particularly Julian Assange, we don't know if this is true, is likely to get a pardon. Why? Well, apparently because Republicans in the Senate, and by Republicans in the Senate we mean Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, the leader of Republicans in the Senate, has sent word over to the White House, if you pardon Julian Assange, we are much more likely to convict you in an impeachment trial. Now, is it legal to hold that over a president's head? We're not lawyers, we don't know. It's certainly wrong. But more than that, it tells you everything about their priorities. At a time when this country in some ways is coming apart, we're at a pivot point in American history. And if you're watching this show, you probably feel pretty threatened, and for good reason. There are people on the other channels saying they're going to hunt you down like a terrorist. At that moment, what is Mitch McConnell, your designated defender in the United States Senate, worrying about? He's worrying about protecting the uniparty in Washington, not his party and the Democratic Party in permanent Washington. They're the reason both these men have been locked up, because both these men embarrassed permanent Washington. That's their crime. And his priority in the final hours of the Trump administration is to make certain that they remain punished for doing that. It tells you everything. We don't know what's going to happen in the end. We've got a number of hours left for the president to make that decision. But we want you to know how that decision is being made, because it's deeply revealing.
Yeah, it is deeply revealing. You also had a statement from Cassandra Fairbanks. So she actually testified during the Assange extradition. She said hearing a pardon for Julian is being blocked by Pat Cipollone. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. She goes on to say, if you know him, get him on the phone and talk some sense into him, please. He is telling Trump that he will piss off the Senate and they will move to indict him for incitement to get back at him if he pardons Julian. This is batshit insanity. They will do it anyways. I mean, Christ. Donald Trump is a cuck. Donald Trump is a bitch. And he has shown that so many times. And it is hilarious how many of his supporters view him as being anti-establishment and anti-war and anti-interventionist. No, he's a bitch from day one. He was doing the bidding of the military-industrial complex. He bombed Iran. He bombed Syria. He bombed Yemen and Afghanistan even more than Obama did, which is, I mean, in of itself astronomical. Then he goes in and gets Julian Assange indicted. I mean, to say that the guy is anti-establishment is lunacy. Lunacy. He's a cuck. He is a cuck. He's an obedient cuck. And I don't think the irony is lost on anyone that in his final days as president, you know, he gets banned and deplatformed by Silicon Valley, which is an extension, which is an arm of the national security state, right? And he still does nothing. He still does nothing. Amazing. Amazing. Here's a tweet by Glenn, which I think puts it quite succinctly. Trump left the White House about as weak, cucked, and submissive as it's possible for a grown adult to scamper away. Yep. Here's Kim.com.
Julian will be freed this year, pardon or not. We'll keep fighting and keep up the pressure. Thank you.
Definitely. Definitely. And I do agree with him. Our numbers have grown. I mean, I think that in the last year, there's, I mean, again, I don't think it's been enough pressure and enough just yet, but definitely, I think the numbers have grown just of the people aware of what's happening to Julian Assange. I mean, even Sarah Palin came around, of all people, and says that, you know, despite being in his WikiLeaks publications at one point, she's making the case for him now, right? So I think his Julian's case has definitely reached more people now, and I don't think you should be discouraged by what Trump did, because it was expected. I mean, just a few days before, about 2 weeks before, he pardoned 4 Blackwater mercenaries who committed a massacre in Iraq, and I mean, Christ Almighty. Remember, this is before his big list with the 100 names, and when I saw that, I was like, well, yeah. I mean, I'm not holding out much hope, unfortunately. When I was talking to Chris Hedges also said, like, you know, when it comes to Julian getting pardoned, I mean, not a big chance. Probably a bigger chance of Trump doing it than Biden. And Kevin said the same thing to me, Kevin Gostola. But even then, it's still a slim chance. It's unfortunate, man. You have to remember, this guy, Assange, is sitting in a maximum security prison. He's not serving a sentence. He's not been charged with anything. How can you call that a liberal democracy or a functioning justice system? I mean, not only are they infringing upon him as a journalist, right, for holding power accountable, but his legal rights are being trampled on. He's not serving a sentence. He's not charged with, he's not guilty of a crime. What the fuck is he doing in a jail? Never mind a maximum security prison. What is that? What is that? No sane person can justify that shit. It's a political witch hunt. That's what it is. So again, it's really disappointing, but what did you expect? It's Trump. I mean, he's a piece of shit, just like every US president. And so this is once again another issue, just like with Yemen, which is something where you wonder, like, okay, well, what are you going to do about it? We kept hearing that Joe Biden is more humane and, you know, he's going to take a different approach from Trump, and he's going to be a breath of fresh air, and now democracy is restored. Where is it? Where is it? People in Yemen don't have time. People in Syria, Venezuela, Iran, they don't have time. Sanctions don't wait. Sanctions kill. Julian Assange, okay, he's one person compared to the millions, but still, nonetheless, he's been under arbitrary detention for 10 years now, basically almost 2 years now in Belmarsh. He also has health conditions. He's also not doing well. And not to mention that there's an affront, an attack on press freedoms. What are you waiting for? Are you going to drop the charges? What's going on here? Again, Blue MAGA. I really hope he drops them. I hope something happens. I hope I'm proven wrong, but I'm not holding out any hope. And this is really heartbreaking. You see Blackwater mercenaries, war criminals, just scum who murdered civilians, who murdered children, who murdered people just going about their daily business, getting a pardon from Trump. And Julian Assange, who exposes people like that, who exposes crimes like that. Yeah, well, horrible. It's really horrible. But anyway, like Kim.com said, we keep fighting. We're not stopping. We keep fighting. And I really hope Assange is free soon. I really do.